Hello, Nicole. Hello.
Hello, Eric. Hello. How are you?
I am doing so great on this Monday. Amazing start of the week, Big Brother Canada. I'm so excited to talk about it with our guest today. More on that in 1 minute. First, let me remind everybody wherever you guys are watching, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, YouNow, TikTok. YouTube, did I say that? All of those. You guys know the deal. Follow, like, and subscribe. It's the best ways to help support our shows. Of course, we are live right now, so share the show. Or when you get to the end of the show, if you're watching it in the future, share it then. Put it in your favorite Facebook groups or tell someone you know that you think might like this show. And of course, hellofriendspod.com is where you can find all of my socials, Nicole's, the ones for the shows, where to find it live, our schedules, and that of our guest. That being said, Nicole, what if you're
Yes.
listening to the podcast version?
If you are listening to the audio version, please be sure to leave it a 5-star rating, a positive review, and share it with all your podcast listening or maybe not podcast listening friends. You got to introduce them to it. We're always welcome to new friends.
And with that being said, Nicole,
Yeah.
I'm excited for one of a friend of the show, somebody who, I think that we're all having a crush on still after the fact. But I'm going to let you do the honors and introduce Nicole.
All right. Well, first of all, I see everybody in the chat saying Anthony's a goat. Thank you, guys. I know I am. But anyway, our guest today is somebody that I was already bright red and told him he's gorgeous, so we got past that. He is Fergalicious Dougalicious. It is the one, the only Anthony Douglas from BBCAN.
I did not know we were getting a
Wow.
Fergalicious song there. Hello, Anthony.
Quite the introduction. What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. You know, we put on a couple. I'm wearing my Kelly Kapowski shirt right now. Kind of looks like she just got her tonsils taken out because I'm a little fluffy right now, but we're good.
Look, Anthony,
We're good.
I really think that there are moments that stick in people's heads, and I am sure that you would probably like if, really it was a Big Brother one for me, which there are several Big Brother moments with you that stick out in my head. But literally, anytime anybody says your name, I think of that bathtub picture.
Yeah. Big Brother. I don't know how they kept catching me in there, but yeah, I took a couple baths and I definitely saw a lot of it afterwards. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I was vibing in there. I don't know what it was. It was just a vibe.
My one regret is I never took a bath in the Big Brother house. And I said to myself, if I go back, that's my one goal. And I didn't do it my second time either. So I was very upset with myself. I still have to check that off.
Bucket list.
There you go. I guess third time is a charm. We are so excited to have you here as someone who is a master strategist, of my opinion, in this game. Somebody who has been a part of an alliance that has made it to the end of the game. Somebody who is amazing at reading people and reading people's games. So I think it's going to be super fun for us to get your take on this season and how people are playing.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. I got a lot on my mind.
All right, well then let's go. Let's go, Nicole. You kick it off.
I want to start with, in general, how last week went and wrapped up. How are we feeling about a Victoria HOH, a Victoria post HOH? How are we feeling about that?
I think, being inside the Big Brother house, it's always perspective, right? I think that Victoria, did a good move for a very, short-term period of time. I think she could have really used Latoya. I think Latoya, when you talk about, I keep hearing on the live feeds, and these guys keep talking about, genuine apologies and genuine conversations and stuff. And I just feel like the conversations that I saw between Latoya and Victoria were very genuine on Latoya's side. And, you know, I would have loved to see them, you know, at least try to work at it or go at it a little bit more. But, you know, Victoria did what she thought was best for her game in the long run. And I guess we'll see what happens with that as the season goes on.
Yeah. Where do you think she falls right now currently? Do you think it's kind of like, all right, she can get past it, or do you think she's kind of in a hinky jinky spot?
Well, I think she's not in the best spot right now. Not as well. It's very tough coming off of an HOH and being in the best spot, right? Like I feel like you really got to be extra careful with your words, with every single person, even the people that you want to work to the most and find out the most amount of information, because those are the people that are going to use everything that you say to them the next week to help out their situation, right? So I just feel like Victoria's in a good spot. Like I feel like, you know, maybe she should, you know, not try to be so fake. Like, you know, it's kind of hard because it's crunch time, right? You just saw the HOH. You kind of want to get in there and say your little bit of piece. But for me, like, as you can see when she leaves the rooms and stuff, like they're onto it. But now they're at a point where there's bigger targets. So if Victoria can just, you know, slip through the cracks a little bit, maybe people will, you know, develop you know, more hate for other people in the house over her.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna. I'm sorry. Wendy over on YouTube says Vic was trying to be a gamer, and Toya didn't vibe with Vic, in my opinion.
They were not vibing.
So
and Latoya
they
said that
were.
during her exit.
Yeah.
That's a normal thing, right? Like we're watching as fans, and you know, as much as we, you know, can watch live feeds and see highlight clips and stuff like that, we're not in the house. We don't know the vibes or, you know, the aura that people have when they're around, and some people just don't click with each other. And I think that, you know what I mean, like coming into the house, like everybody has, you know, like for example, like Kiefer. Okay, I said at the beginning, I think Kiefer is going to do so well because he is genuinely happy.
Yes.
Like he's got his kids, he's got his wife, he's got his supporters. He's a happy man. Those kind of people in Big Brother are extremely dangerous. They're extremely dangerous because they just want to do the absolute best. And you know what I mean? And I feel like Kiefer's doing that. In terms of like, you know, Victoria not really vibing with Latoya, I just feel like there's just something there because it doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean? It doesn't make much sense. Like I saw, you know, a couple tapes of Victoria being like, you know, your attitude or, you know, this, that, or whatever. It's like I don't really see it. You know, like I haven't seen anything where there's been like this crazy amount of attitude from Latoya. So I just think, you know, sometimes where you're at in your life when you go inside the house, you know, it can affect how, you know, you view people. And, you know, unfortunately we got to see some of that.
Yeah, and
I mean,
speaking of Kiefer's somebody who every once in a while I see a game move and I'm like, no, Kiefer, you're frustrating me. But I tweeted again this episode. He has my heart. I absolutely adore him. And he's somebody who, yeah, he can kind of play emotional, personal every now and again with how he pitches things. But it just, I have such a soft spot for him. And I love him so much.
And I think when it came to like Latoya, I think it's kind of the way people responded to you sometimes in the game too, Anthony. Like when you are an assertive player or when you are like, I'm being direct with you. I know it's a game about lying and manipulating, but I'm coming at you almost emotionless. People sometimes don't know how to take that in the game, and it can come off more not in an intended way. And I think Latoya, who was my pick to win, also kind of fell into that label with people undeservingly, in my opinion, for this season.
Yeah, I mean, intimidation is huge. Like look at you know, Kiefer right now, like clearly put up, you know, Kyle and Ro because of the way they made him feel in the pantry. You know what I mean? They intimidated him. He said it, and he's obviously been holding on to it. And also, it's, you know, kind of a good look for his game. But yeah, Latoya just, rubbed people the wrong way. And, I just feel like, if I were to critique Latoya's game a little bit, it's you got to know your audience. You know what I mean? When I went into the Big Brother house, I've, lots of friends. I've, you know, tons of different friends from different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different age groups. So, like I know how to talk to people. I've had, very close friends in my life for a long time, and I could relate to every single person in the house. Sometimes when you can't relate and you're trying that direct technique, it doesn't really hit the right way with certain people. And and I think as soon as Victoria caught wind, it was her time to make a big move, she just did what she could with the person that she felt least connected to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was part of it. Sorry. I'm sure there was part of it that she wanted, Ty and Jetson for herself. She needed to remove the person so that they had somewhere they had to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it was smart on that end too.
Isn't the person Beth?
Yeah.
Yeah, well. I say there are no spoilers in Big Brother, but if y'all don't want to have it really ruined for you, I know we talked about the isosceles triangle on the episode today. However, I think I know who's winning based on the live feeds earlier.
Well, at the end of this episode, we did see her when Kiefer came into the room, I think it was, yeah, and Beth was in the bed with Jed and Ty was in the other bed. So I thought that was kind of telling.
Yeah.
Beth came to play, man. Beth came to play. I'm honestly like this. What a great player, adapting to the her surroundings, adapting. She's. I think she's one of the most well sitting people in the house at this point. To be honest, I think some people.
Go ahead.
I think some people, are acknowledging that. Yeah, okay, it's like they're starting to peep a couple things, but there's other people doing way more, and I don't really see anybody trying to waste an HOH on Beth at this point. There are way bigger targets than some girl who just likes to kiss a couple guys, you know what I mean, or obviously a little bit more than that, but I think she's playing the game, and I'm rooting for. I love it. I love it.
I viewed her more as like she's just there, like flighty, airhead, here she is. And then she said like that was her strategy to kind of flirt with the guys and fall into that like alliance. And I did notice that this episode of like, oh damn, like Beth's in a good spot. Like kudos to Beth, like in a good spot game wise, but also in a very good spot personally. But like good for her.
Yeah. I just don't really see her being able to drive that wedge between Ty and Jed. Like Ty he's a little more emotional than Jed, but Jed's there to have fun. Jed is there to play the game, and honestly, I can't see him ever putting anyone before Ty. But who knows? You know what I mean? But I think those guys they're in a good position, especially this week. Yes. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
I wish you guys could explain to me the isosceles. I'm not getting it. And I know what that is. Like, I know what triangles are. I know what.
Do you know what a throuple is?
Yeah. Why can't it be equilateral? Why isn't she an equal partner?
See?
Is it because she's a woman?
Yes. She can't be with both of them all the time, Nicole. She has to be in the kitchen cooking sometimes.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm not. No. I just don't understand why it wasn't equilateral. I wasn't understanding that.
Because I think maybe they were trying not to say thruple. Like, I feel like Big Brother Canada wants to be more of a wholesome, feel-good show, and they don't want to be like, let's be a threesome. So like, let's make math puns. I think that's probably why. But yeah, and I mean, I see Courtney over in Twitch said Beth telling Vic that LT leaving would be a good game move is true. That doesn't mean it was what Beth wanted at this point in the game, which is what I didn't really understand about that argument and the way that they edited it on the show. Like, it's very easy for Beth to just be like, yeah, you asked me or another person. Obviously, I'm going to say the other person. Why
Very
is
easy.
this shocking?
Yeah. But I like how, well, I personally would have done it a little bit differently.
Mhm.
But I like how Victoria was, right away, like, I hope all the fingers aren't being pointed at me, because there was definitely more people involved in this, which is smart. Like I said, I would have done it a little bit differently, but I would have, probably sold it a little bit more to Ty and Jed individually.
Okay.
Try to stay away from that group conversation, because I don't think Ty and Jed really. I think they saw through that.
Yeah. Yep. I give her
Definitely
a lot of
saw through
credit
that.
though. Like, as somebody who plays more like with heart, like, oh, I'm not gonna accuse people of stuff. Like, you have to give Victoria credit for having like the cojones to just be like, "Ugh, there it is, Beth. Like, you caused this. Like, everybody, Beth." Like, I was like, damn. Like, it's
Yeah,
frustrating on a personal level to watch, but I can respect it from a game level of like, damn, she's really like
yeah,
always thinking.
yeah. You
Mhm.
got you got what you asked for. You got your wish.
Yeah.
Like, that was. I like that. That's
Ugh.
good. That's good. Put
I
some pressure on her. And so far, like, when you're like, because I've been watching Beth, because eventually you're going to be in that situation where
mm,
you're going to have to back up your mouth. You're going to have to
yep.
be able to have confrontation in front of people you're not comfortable being around. You know what I mean? And it seems like so far Beth has shied away from, some conversations, in front of the house, or in front of people that she feels uncomfortable having those conversations with. But you know what I mean? Who knows? This might be able to, maybe, obviously Victoria is going to be Beth's next target for sure.
Mm.
you
And
know, so it's
do you think that was smart on her part, or like stupid in regards to like Victoria calling her out in front of everybody? Do you think she should have kind of went back at her in front of everybody, or do you think it was smart to slink away and then talk to her privately?
well, you got to remember, like, when people are talking, you're opening up the doors for somebody to spill something. You know what I mean? So if they're talking about who's at fault here, let's follow the breadcrumbs back and see, who's responsible for what. It might open doors for people to point fingers in other directions, rather than, okay, case closed. It was Victoria's idea to get out Latoya. Now it's a new week. It's Victoria against, so and so. When people are talking, it kind of, creates that, it kind of creates a little bit of mist. You know what I mean? And I think it's a good thing. I think
You
it's a good thing.
really? You think Victoria outgoing HOH having no power before an HOH comp, it's a good idea for her to, and she knows it's all not true, to put something out there that could blow up her own game too?
Well,
I thought you were gonna hate this move. I thought you were gonna hate this meeting.
I only hate it because it's Latoya. And I
Okay.
really, really like Latoya, and I wanted to see Latoya. But in terms of trying to, win over the guys, in terms of, you know what I mean, trying to, take away that three, and because everyone's
Yeah.
already acknowledged this is duos.
Yes. Oh
Clearly,
yeah.
Ty, Jed, and Toya were a 3-person team.
Mhm.
That's, you know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Go after Jed? No. That would be horrible. Go after
Yeah.
Ty? No. So you got to drive that wedge and insert yourself in there. You know what I mean? I'd be lying if I said I didn't try to drive wedges between people myself in the game. You know what I mean? But that's what you have to do. You got to eliminate, the threats.
But
Yeah.
from a Beth perspective, should Beth have in front of everybody been more so like, Victoria, that's not true. This happened, this person, that person, or do you think it is wise what she did to kind of just be very
Yeah.
quiet, let it
Yeah,
happen?
no. Be quiet, run away, have your conversations individually, play the victim card, do whatever you
Yep.
got to do. But do not have that conversation out in the open, because you did say those things, and
Yep.
she's not like smooth like that to redirect. You know what I mean? Like she would have had to answer those questions very directly, and that would have been a huge problem for her. So it's good that she ran away, and Victoria just peeped that she was trying to have these little individual conversations and then ran up on her.
Yeah.
I
Victoria's
see.
everywhere.
Exactly. I see Rasha's Fun World saying, you know, she was trying to create doubt, meaning Victoria. So she was trying to put a doubt out there for the people who might be whispering around before that HOH comp. It could work either way. I still want to think I'm very much of the mindset of house meetings are never a good thing, but I love fun feeds and I love
And I
drama
love
and
to threaten a house meeting.
I love Nicole loves to threaten a house meeting, exactly.
You guys got to remember too, right? Like seeds, like that right there is a perfect seed. You know what I mean? Like later on, that can be used in almost any type of scenario. Like, how are you going to trust Beth? Like, Beth is, don't you remember Beth was the one who was throwing out Latoya's name? That's what I said in the house meeting. You see how she ran away? She couldn't even face me. It's because she was lying. Beth has been the one. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that can be used later. Like, all seeds are good seeds. You know what I mean? They're all, they're all seeds. All seeds are good seeds. And even if, you know, you didn't get the confrontation that you want, you still potentially set something up for later that could save your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
true.
I know, obviously, you said you're a big fan of Latoya. All of us were. We really wanted her to win. I have to ask you this question from Instagram from a Miss Julie Vu. And she wants to know, if Julie were to come back, what advice would you give her?
If Julie were to come back, I would suggest going where the power is. Right off the bat. Go where the power is. Give your, you know, pledge your allegiance. Hop in an alliance ASAP. Spend all day, every single day with them. Get coffee, tea, cookies. Hide the muffins for them. Do whatever you got to do to make these people fall in love with you. You missed a lot of time in there. A lot of these guys have gotten closer with each other. But, you know, as a new person in the house, everybody's going to see you as, you know, as a potential ally in there. And, you know, definitely give your all to the strong people.
And hide their muffins. Love it.
Exactly. Hide the muffins. Do what you got to do, man. Treat these people like gold.
That's going to be my life strategy if I ever go back. They're like, Nicole, what's your strategy? I'm going to say, bring the cookies, hide the muffins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it. I was just going to say hashtag hide the muffins. Go ahead.
We do have so many questions for you from social media. So I want to go through a couple of them. From Reality TV Junkie on Twitter wants to know, what do you think of Kiefer staying loyal to the soil in regard to Jed and Ty and Beth, the three people who voted against him, which is interesting.
Well, it's about adapting. First of all, shouts to Keith, man. Shouts to Kiefer, Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? Took loyal to the soil. You know, which is something that I was claiming on my season as well. But I think you have to adapt, and I think he does feel comfortable with them. And it's a great Big Brother player would look at that and be like, you know what? They were closer to Latoya, but now Latoya's gone, and I can even use this even more now, right? Like, yeah, okay. Like think about this later on. Yeah, okay, yeah. Remember, you guys, you guys voted to take me out of here, and the very next week I was HOH, and I kept you guys here. You guys ran up, you were smiling in my face, shaking my hands, and I told you guys are safe. You guys got to ride for me, no matter what. You got to try and beat those. You can't be throwing no competitions. You got to, when somebody brings my name up in the room, you got to have my back. And I think Keith is doing a good job at basically showing these guys, like, yo, like, I'm real. I got you guys. I'm not putting you up. You know what I mean? Even though I got, you know, there's little birdies everywhere that are whispering little things, and Keith's not folding. Keith's not folding. He's strong. He's loyal to the soil. That's my guy, man. I'm loving the way he's playing the game.
Me too.
You know, it's kind of a little roller coaster, but he's developing as a player. You can see it with every day inside that house he's developing. And he's like, you know, I was a little upset with him last week when he had mentioned, I want to make sure I do the right thing because, you know, my kids are going to watch this. And it's like, forget all that.
Forget
You're
the
in-
kids.
when you're inside the walls. It's go
Mhm.
time. They're not gonna watch this show in 10 years and be like, oh dad, I just really wish you didn't lie. No, no, this you gotta give your all. And you know what I mean? And you can try to play an honest game, as far as possible, but that's not gonna get you first. Playing an honest game, to be honest.
It's true. It's very true.
Exactly. So, yes, true.
It is true.
Several points. Number one, your kid will be fine. Buy him the new PlayStation.
You know what
Number
I mean?
two, with your winnings. Here you go. Daddy had a lie. Here's the PlayStation. We cool? Okay. Number two, I don't get, like, they brought it up in the edit several times tonight. Like, they voted against you, Kiefer. They voted against you. But it's more like he knows the truth of they didn't. They were all working together. They all knew as the Sunsetters why they were voting, how they were voting. So it wasn't like they were really voting against him. He said, like, I messed up. I made this mistake. I hurt our alliance. I'm willing to take the blow this week. Now, granted, he didn't really tell so much of Victoria's plan to them, but still, so I just think people that are critical of him for putting up a Roe and a Kyle, I don't get why they're so critical of it. He's aware of everything that's going on in the game, at least.
God, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great
And
Noms.
I applaud the speech about respect. Like, I get it, that's more personal than game, but I was like, you tell him, Kiefer.
Yeah.
You tell him, you put him in their place.
Yes, sir.
I saw, and I apologize, I forget who it was. Chat is going so fast. Is somebody asked, what did we all think of the situation with Kiefer and Austin during the HOH? Do we think that that was a smart move on both of their parts to make a deal? Would we have made the deal if we were in either of their positions? What did we think of that conversation? I'll just say I think that that's a normal conversation to have when you know it's going to be one of the two of you. And I think Austin threw it.
I don't think Austin threw it.
No,
You
you
don't?
don't think so?
No, I don't think Austin threw it. I think well, there wasn't even that much. I don't think Austin threw it. I definitely think that's a normal conversation to have. I think, like, because Austin got on the second shot a 7, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
No.
not as high as Kiefer. A 9.
Kiefer got a 9,
He
and
forgot the
Austin got
9. I feel like she got a 5.
Oh, the second time, yeah, Kiefer got a 9. She got like a 4 or something. It wasn't
Yeah,
even like near it.
that was my point. Like the reason
She's like,
the reason I think she threw it was like if she was really trying, she would have seen he has a 9. He only one more point, or I think was the highest score. She knew she really had to get it down that board if she wanted to win. And she kind of just went, So that's kind of why I think she threw it. But I mean,
yeah,
maybe not. Maybe she was hoping that that sand would glide it past. I don't know.
from the way I saw it, I don't really think that she threw it. But definitely needed to, like I said, this, like, even the way they're talking about this being duos, it must be extremely evident inside the house. Like,
oh yeah,
there's always, you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe is, and she definitely should have made the deal to keep herself safe. You know what I mean? Because with that also potentially comes Braden safe as well, right? So
true.
I think that was smart of her, and I'm really glad. Even if she did, I'm glad she did throw it. It would have been bad for her to win HOH anyways.
And I think like it goes back to like applauding this cast of people because they are playing. You think again with Victoria always planting seeds and saying things and keeping the ball rolling. Kiefer did the same thing up on that podium. Like he could have just said, you're safe and that's it, or oh, let's keep each other safe. But he also added the little extra, they're coming after you. I heard them say it. Like just that little extra seed, like you were saying, just keep the seeds going. Like these people are,
Yes.
they're really, keeping the ball rolling. Like they want gameplay at all times. So and like you were saying, I think it's very natural when it's one of both of you. It's natural to be like, you're safe if I'm safe, and vice versa. So I think anybody would do that. I do think she threw it, but then I guess she didn't, because I feel as though they would have showed that as part of the episode. That would be a big point that she threw it to Kiefer, and I think it would have been more of the edit. So that makes me think maybe she didn't. Maybe it was just an odd moment of like not giving it enough chutzpah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the at BBCAN live feed, BBCAN9 live feeds over on Twitter that are our 24/7 live feed updaters. Doot in my ear, letting me know. She said on the feed she threw it. I didn't know that either.
The
So I
plot
guess she
thickens.
admitted to throwing it then, I guess.
But okay, Anthony, wouldn't
It's
you
gonna
agree? There's a difference between throwing it and not really wanting it.
Yes.
Very big difference. Is
Absolutely.
it?
That's a good
Thank you.
point.
Huge
Mhm.
difference.
Yes.
Huge difference. She did not throw that competition.
She's probably
Definitely
didn't want
did not.
it.
She probably
Yeah.
didn't want it. That's probably a better.
If she was throwing that competition, she wouldn't have been up on the podium in the first place.
True.
True. Very true. Oh, that's very valid. Yeah. I always
True.
say that with like wall comps and stuff. That's why we always see the person that was on the block and somehow survived, all of a sudden they win, because they have that willpower to win it. Whereas maybe somebody else is like, oh, I could win this, I could not. Like, I'll just do it till my body gives out. Like, you don't have that extra push. So I always say there's such a distinction between literally going meh and throwing it and being like, oh, I guess I'm kind of safe. I'll just do this.
I mean, I see what Lala Crystal on Twitch is saying. She says that she thinks she went for it first harder based on the people that were playing. Once she knew that it was down to her and Kiefer, she felt safer in it and didn't need to really go for it. Yet, had she, and then apparently on the feeds, had she known that Ro and Kyle would have been the noms, she would have tried harder to win it. So I think we're right. She didn't necessarily throw it. She just knew, I don't really need to win this, which I would argue, as we'll see play out the rest of this week, she could have, possibly did, because she was in danger.
Yeah.
So, she does not know if she
could be
how-
a huge choke. Could be
It
a
could
huge
be.
choke.
And then that is a good excuse too. Like, oh, I choked. I mean, I threw it.
Yeah.
True, and kind of like lessen the blow to yourself and to the audience. One person who maybe should have won it is our poor pal Ro, who looks like starvation is not treating him well. This poor man is so skinny. I just want to hug him. Like he's not my favorite on a game level, but I see him and I just go, he's shriveling away.
Because you know the feeling. Like I would like. There's nothing on this planet worse than being on slop. I'm telling you guys right now, like it is the worst.
Yes.
And I'm a big foodie. Like I went into the house, like I think it was around 290. And when I came out of the house, I was like 260.
Oh,
and that was
gosh.
because, but I wasn't, obviously, I was not eating the same things or whatever. And there was no pop in the house and whatever. But slop is like insane. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It affects you emotionally, mentally, your decision making, your energy, everything.
Especially
and
2 weeks in a row.
Brutal.
This is the third, isn't it?
Third?
This is his third, but it's going into his third, I believe. Yeah, it's going into his third week of it.
They shouldn't allow that, because that, psychologically it messes with you and emotionally, and it's a game. But when it gets to the point where it's physically like screwing with you as a human being, like that shouldn't be allowed. Because like I give him a lot of credit, because I almost died on 1 week of slop. So I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
let me ask you this. Do we, because I saw people saying this in chat before, do we think that Canada is voting to get him off, number one? And then number two, what if they don't? How will that mess with his brain if, like, he knows Canada has seen me be on slop since the beginning of this game and they did not vote me off of it? If I was in that game, I would be like, is my edit that I am a horrible human? I would be so worried about my edit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it depends how deep he goes with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's fair game. Welcome to the game. It's yeah, it sucks you're on 2 weeks. Well, maybe you shouldn't have rubbed people the wrong way. Maybe you should have been working on your social game. You know what I mean? Then people wouldn't feel so comfortable to make you starve and try to weaken you. You know what I mean? Like, as a player, I wouldn't be like, if I was a player and they're on the other side, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, like I'm gonna put somebody on my side on slop just because, like, it's unfortunate. No, you're going on
I
slop.
would.
You're going on, but depending
I
on
don't
who it was, right? I
Yeah.
guarantee you, if people cornered you and they were trying to embarrass you and they were trying to call you out for things and they were trying to put targets on your back, you wouldn't feel so remorseful when it came to making somebody
True.
eat a shake for 7 days.
True. And I'll ask you that because, me and Eric had this discussion about the whole Pantry, Kiefer versus, Kyle and Roe. As a bigger man, like, what are your thoughts on that dynamic? Do you think it was Kiefer taking it too personally? Do you think it was intimidation / the word that nobody wants to say of bullying? Like, what was your take on that Pantry situation?
I think Kiefer got caught up, and I think those guys sensed that he was weak, he was fumbling his words, he was uncomfortable, and they just kept driving into him. You know what I mean? They were not remorseful when he was feeling very uncomfortable, when he was feeling alone. You could tell by his body posture, by his
Yep.
energy, not comfortable at all being there, and they didn't care. So you know what I mean? And like, think of the vibe after of having people like come up to you after they were calling you out, after they're going against
Yep.
people you're together with, after they just eliminated, we're part of the reason why, Latoya was gone, having these people then show up in your face to be like, look, man, I was never actually, I'm really
Yep.
sorry about the Pantry. I was never going to do anything, but if I win next week, like, you're good. Like, can we be pals? No. Remember the Pantry. Don't an elephant never forgets. Don't get amnesia now.
Yeah.
You remember, just remember the Pantry and how you were treating me and how you've treated the people that I'm starting to work with. That's me personally. If I were to choose, to not put him on slop, it would be for game purposes. I would probably use that as leverage. Look, like, I'm being honest with you. A lot of people are saying your name. You could potentially go on the block, but you're telling me you want to work with me and you want to move forward with the future, and you're upset because slop's really hurting you. I'm not going to put you on slop. That's not fair. But keep an open mind next week and remember that as well.
See, I respect and admire this so much because I realize Eric, here he comes, Eric. No, but like, I do play not more emotionally, that's not the word for it, but
It's the word.
I am a lot more
Empathetic.
empathetic, yes. And I know what it's like to not be the receiver of other people's empathy, so therefore I would show it back. So I respect people like you that are able to say, like, nope, you didn't show me remorse, so now I show you none. Whereas in that game, hashtag remember the HOH room, I was more, I know how it felt to feel shitty. I don't want you to feel that way. So I think even with a Kyle Rowe, if I was in Kiefer's position, I'd be like, I know how horrible that felt. I don't want to put him through slop another week. Like, I don't know. And I guess that is me being too personal, emotional, empathetic. So I like to hear your side of it because it's important to be more view it as game pieces and not as human beings.
Yeah, no, it's a game. Definitely, it's a game. And if people are, trying to like, I think if Roe had a won an HOH, I feel like Kiefer's going up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, how are you gonna have remorse on somebody like that? Just like, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're stuck inside of this house. We sat in sequester for 17 days. I had to go through semifinals, finals, leave my family, and you're here trying to humiliate me in front of the Pantry. Eat slop.
Yeah, damn.
Eat
Oh my God.
slop.
Wow, I'm motivated. I
Yeah.
think you should be like the inspirational speaker for people going into the Big Brother.
I would love to. I would love to. It would honestly, like, I would give people really good advice
Yes,
going
Eric,
in.
I needed him in the DR. I needed him to be like, no.
Eat a dick, Nicole. We all surrounded you before you went in that house. Me and your mom were like, you are doing this for your family. These people don't care about you. Split their throats and drink their blood. Don't act like we didn't say any of this to you.
Great.
Yeah, but it's different.
Okay.
He's played
Fine.
the game.
Next time we'll have Anthony give the pep talk.
Okay,
Call
ready?
me. Call me.
I was like, oh no. I will just say this really quickly. Rasha's Fun World said she checked. Rohan is 70% in the lead for winning it. So to get off of Slop. So it seems like he's going to be the
Canada's
clear
a wonderful
winner.
place, man.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my reaction is, oh, good for him. I'm glad.
I would have put him back
No,
on.
I feel bad. I feel bad for him, definitely. Like, I
Yeah,
definitely
he's not
feel
looking
for him.
well.
Like, I almost died from 1 week of slop. Like, I literally, I was taking off my mic, like giving the camera dirty looks. Like, I was a different person. You know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine, back-to-back weeks, plus feeling uncomfortable, plus the idea that you're on the block and you could go home. It's very heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Sparkly Eye says, in this kind of game, for this kind of money, you drop the hammer every chance you can get on your competition. And your girl Ree says, out of the 24 days they have been there, Ro has only had real food 4 days.
Oh, God. That sucks. That's I feel so bad. I know from a game perspective, but as a human, like, I can't. I feel so bad. Damn.
But I guarantee you, he's not happy about it now. But when he comes out of the house, he'll be bragging about it. So he'll live.
True. That's very true.
And I mean, again, yes, it's well, I mean, I don't know, but from what I hear, it's disgusting and gross and all of those things. But I mean, it is nutritional. You can live on it if you had to. It's not like they're getting no food.
No, listen to me right now. It depends on how your body processes stuff.
Sure.
My body would not process it. It was not used to it. Didn't know what the fuck it was. It was like, why are you feeding me hamster pellets? My body started to shut down.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that it's horrible.
It's worse. It's not the eating it. Like, yeah, it's gross. But like, yeah, whatever. It's psychological, whatever. It's when your body, it doesn't matter how strong your mind is. When your body says, no, I'm shutting down. I don't like this. There's nothing you can do. I don't care how mentally strong you are. There's nothing you can do.
No, I agree. I mean, in all honesty, if they were like, Eric, you get to decide the future of have-nots, I'd be like, get rid of it. It serves no purpose. Like, yes, I get it. You're making people irritable. You're making them hungry. So then that is creating drama in the house because then hungry people get hangry is what they're hoping for. That is a stupid thing to interject into the game. We cast amazing people. But you know what I mean. Robin, the people who cast is casting amazing people on this show that are dynamic and stuff. They don't need let's remove the food to make them tired, boring on the feeds. I think it does way worse to the show, to the feeds, than it ever does to help the show. And I think everyone feels that way. I do not understand why slop is a thing in this show anymore.
I agree.
Like, make it be a 1 week twist. Like, 1 week, you're all on slop. And then we're done.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Like, we got punished on my season. We got punished a couple times where, we were saying brands too many times or there was, I can't remember exactly what, there was a couple different things where we would go into the pantry and there was literally like bolts around the fridge, completely locked. What? And the only thing available for all of us was slop, cold showers. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Nicole,
in Big Brother Canada, when you break the rules, they enforce it. unlike
Yes, sir.
BBUS.
Which they
Yes,
should have.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So they actually get or do that. Get rid of have-nots and just use it for people that break the rules then.
Yeah,
Do it that way. Fine with it for that too. But
true.
it's just
I like that too.
it does nothing to help the game, in my opinion. It makes hungry people that are tired, exhausted, can't compete, thus not making the show or feeds entertaining.
Mhm.
I
But
don't
you know
get
what
it.
does make it entertaining?
What?
The ball pit.
Yes. That's where I
How
am.
funny was the whole Austin Kyle thing? Like the
So wait,
edit. I
I have
thought
I
it
have
was
a question here because
okay.
one of the hardest things I've also ever had to do is not take naps for
Right.
that amount of time. Like these guys were on me. Like everywhere I was, the cameras were on me. I couldn't blink for 5 seconds.
Yep.
If I had access to a ball pit where I could bury myself under, I would have been a totally different player. I would have snuck in 20-minute naps. I would have, you know what I mean? Because we did the trick where like, you just face the direction where the camera's not and you like tap your hand a little bit,
Yeah.
and just pretend like, there's like little
Yeah.
tricks where you can sneak some shut eye in. But if I had a ball
Bible.
pit, yeah, like if I had a ball pit though, oh my gosh, total game changer.
So do we
Total
think
game
Kyle
changer.
was sleeping?
100%.
100%.
I
100%.
I mean, I think a lot of previous players 100% say that they think this ball pit's ridiculous. It lets the players nap in a way that they couldn't. However, I think that the people that say that are people like you, and the part that I think is a testament to your game, you weren't allowed to sleep because you were driving storylines of the show. So if they're letting you nap on Big Brother,
You're
that
not.
should be a clue to you
Yeah.
that you're probably not getting a great edit. Somebody like you in that game, no, they couldn't let you sleep. You had pretty boys, you had side things, you had so much going on. They needed you out there making content for that edit. You can sleep at night.
Yeah, still not fair though. Still
Yeah,
not
no,
still
not
not
fair,
fair though.
but I also want to put this in because I thought it was funny. Dead Lich says, I think instead of making them have knots, they should just get them hammered instead. So just get them drunk. It should just be
Yeah.
you get drunk instead of
Or sugar. For me, if they wanted me to be rowdy the first week when I was like, they should have punished me with like extra sugar, because instead of being like mopey, I can't function, I would have been like, "Ah," like crazy. So they have to
Mhm.
they have to do what works. And I think alcohol, not that I condone that, please drink responsibly, but I think that would make people more, you know what? I'm gonna nominate your ass.
I mean, no one's having conversations in the ball pit, right? Like, if you're in that house, you do not go into that room and have any conversation about game, right? Because there could just
No.
be someone hiding in that ball pit at all times.
Yeah, definitely. No.
I would never have a thing in that conversation, that room at all. I see Kim over on YouTube says, I have a question for Anthony. Why do you think they only cast 14 people this year?
This is Big Brother. This is Big Brother. I think there are so many different possibilities, with like twists, with evictions and stuff like that. It could mean absolutely anything. I can't even put my finger on what it could possibly be, but I guarantee you it's not a coinky dink.
Are you and Adam returning in a week to be the next two?
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Me and Adam joke all the time about what it would be like if we were on All-Star season. Kidding. I mean, we've never talked about it. But yeah, no, it's got to be something. Definitely got to be something. I feel like, even like later on as they get closer and start to have evictions, they might tell some people maybe don't go home.
Yeah.
Maybe stick around for a little bit. We can't tell you why.
And
I mean, that could be. I see people. Starlet is saying, I think it's because there is no triple eviction this
mm,
season. That could be why. Um, and I saw Wendy Lee over on YouTube says, I still say Anthony should have won his season, but I can't wait to see him on All
yeah,
Stars.
we have a lot of people asking if you'll be back, if you want to come back.
I would absolutely love to come back. I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business. I understand the game a little bit more. I'll definitely be working on my days. The jury management will be on lock, and my game will be flawless.
What about a Canada versus US?
I'm wiping the floor. The thing is like it's tough.
Oh
It's
God.
tough, right? It's tough because when you have something like that, like for example, the sequester that we did,
Mm.
the Canada versus
Yep.
US
Yes.
sequester. There's just like certain alliances that just can't be broken. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, in a situation like that, it's a little tougher, but when you're like I said, when you're around somebody, when you feel their vibes, when you feel their aura, you know what I mean? It's a little bit different when you're in the house, and I would absolutely love for an opportunity to go against the States.
Oh, God.
100%. I would pass.
I get so excited and then I go, oh no, I'd be scared shit of you too. I'm scared of everybody. Like I said, I wish they would do it and just put me in there as like moral support. Like I'm not playing the game for money. I'm just there to hang out with everybody. Then I'd be content. And they're like, Nicole, you're going against like Anthony and Adam. I'd be like, oh God,
No, you'd
forget
be
it.
you'd be with us. You'd be with us.
Yes.
You'd be with us.
Oh, don't let her con you. She didn't watch your season. She didn't start watching the last season.
That,
Mm-mm.
But you see little highlight clips and stuff like that.
No,
yeah,
I
and
did. I showed her
I've
all
been
of
a
the.
little busy, Eric.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, true. She was on. Well, no, you weren't. You were. Oh no, you were gone for theirs. That's actually a good point. You were gone for their season. That's a good point.
Thank you.
Um, Sparkly Eye says that Sequester was the only one I have ever watched. I did
Same.
too, and I could not handle it. I was like, I like all these people. I am friendly with all these people. I realized I don't like it's very easy for me to sit back, make fun of the game, make fun of people's games, like try and be funny when we do this show when I don't know anybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Then you guys get off the show. I see you in the real world, whether we have you on or not. Then when I'm like, oh my God, but I know that if Anthony won this, then he would do like that with the money. And like, I can't. So I think I am an emotional player too. I don't like watching it when I know the people that are playing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like an all-star season anymore.
How did Sequester compare to Big Brother? I was stressed watching you guys. It was so fast paced. I was sweating.
Um, it is very fast paced, but it's very there's not really like too much um strategy. Like there's
Okay.
strategy in it, but it's not like the strategy you would use in Big Brother. You can't just build somebody up. You can't just get somebody to
Yeah.
trust you with their entire lives in just an hour of jumping
Yeah.
through chat rooms. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little bit different. Big Brother is, Big Brother's a marathon. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Sequester's kind of like a little sprint with a couple hurdles. You know what I mean? Whereas Big Brothers, that's the cross country race. So
Love that.
I enjoyed I loved both games. But yeah, Sequester, I was even like the way I was like evicted, it was like kind of like just like random, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
fluke.
it was just
You know what I mean?
a
Yeah.
You dragged?
No, was the
Um,
wheel? Was it the wheel or the drag? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I think so there was two people up for eviction,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then they were safe.
Tethered? Oh.
Yeah, and then so I think the next person, I think I had one vote
Oh, it
against.
was vote to save, not vote to evict. I
Yeah,
don't
it was
like
like
the.
something.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
was like something like that. And I was just like, me? How?
What
Like,
just happened?
how? I'm not even. You know what? Okay, fine.
I
I just
still
it was just a good thing for the fans to have some fun and
Yeah.
all of us to get together. You know what I mean? But I would definitely like the 3-month game.
because we're never getting a real U.S. versus Canada season. I have
You don't know that.
I do
Oh, now
know
you
that.
cast it. Now you know production. Okay. Okay.
I know that for whatever it has to do with the work visas between the US and Canada, there's some legal reason why it can't happen. I feel like Alison Rodner explained it in an interview or Julie explained it,
Why?
but there was
Why can't we?
legal
Why can't
reason
we
why
all
it
just
can't
meet
happen.
at the border and they build the house half
Yes,
in
they
Canada,
can
half
Buffalo.
build the house on the
Buffalo,
border. Great
Niagara Falls?
point.
There you go.
Yes,
Honestly, I think money can fix anything, and I think if
true.
they really wanted to do it,
Yeah,
I agree.
they would do it. They've done it for
sure.
other shows. It's possible.
Or
Agreed.
just do it in another place. Why do you have to then don't do it that way? Film it somewhere else completely.
Exactly.
But speaking of BB Canada versus US, Jackie over on YouTube says, would Anthony have wanted to be a part of the boxing event that
Ooh.
Adam is going to be a part of? The US versus BBCAN boxing pay-per-view event.
I mean, the offer was on the table, but I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I wanted to really support my guys. So, you know, I'm going to go show love with Adam. I'm gonna go down there. I think they confirmed that 100% was going to be in Miami, or I think it's still
so.
going to be in Edmonton. I'm not sure where it is, but it just wasn't the requirements that I needed just weren't there for me personally.
Gotcha. And how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Yep.
Why is everybody so big? Jesus Christ. Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would just
Good
be
choice.
like,
No fighting.
it really wouldn't matter to me who it was. They'd be like, it's Anthony versus Anthony won.
I don't know,
Anthony
man.
won.
Adam's looking good, man. Some of these videos, he's looking good.
No, we saw
He's
the Adam
looking.
video. Who is Adam fighting?
Josh.
Oh yeah, Josh Law. Sorry.
No.
This is fine.
No. I love them
This is fine.
both. Oh, I can't.
It's Michael who I'm worried for. Because I want Michael to win, but ooh, Caleb, that's frightening. Heather says Canadians go on The Bachelor, so there clearly has to be ways to make it work. Look, I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you, I read the article about it like 2
Just the
years
method.
ago. I don't remember the reasons why. What did we think of Kiefer discovering the new Expedia room? I mean, he was very like I'm hoping they edited it differently than it happened, because he, based on that edit, was just like, I looked under one pillow, I looked under another pillow, okay, I'm gonna go run and get other people. Like, I would
No,
have
he
ripped
searched.
that room apart.
He searched.
Okay.
He searched.
Okay.
I think it was, and I think he went up to that room to only tell Jed, Ty, and Beth. And that moment of seeing Brayden, you could tell it was like, ah, shit. But he was already like breathing heavy. So everybody's like, what? And he's like, well, I have to say it now. So in front of Brayden, he's like, yeah, Expedia's open.
Yeah, that room's definitely got something going on. Definitely.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
When you and Adam pop out.
I mean, it's got to be a hidden room. I feel like and I don't feel like that's the hidden room. There's always a room off of the hidden room.
Yes.
So clearly there's going to be another hidden room that has to do with that room. But I mean, he was clearly told to go down there and find it, right? He didn't just walk out of his HOH room and go, you know what? Expedia room sounds great right now. Oh,
maybe he did, maybe he didn't. All I know is that if I was inside the house and when they had that little TikTok board and they got to watch some of the messages from the house guests, and I saw Faster Than Light, Adam the Marine Pike, basically saying to me, you know, if I were in the house, I'd be looking everywhere. You know, there's definitely some secret powers and stuff around the house, which Adam was absolutely insane for. This guy was tapping on walls, looking under couch every single day, just like Inspector Gadget everywhere. And and that's how he, was rewarded with the secret power. But if I watching all of that and
Yep.
seeing what Adam said, I would definitely be like, okay, like it's time to start doing some investigating.
Yeah, start ripping things apart.
Yeah.
I am very much of I think it's a matter of, yes, you should always be looking, but I think we all know the way Big Brother works. No twists are in play until they're ready for them to be in play.
Yeah.
So I mean, look so that you kind of have an idea which door is a little bit loose and might open later. But we're all
Yeah.
aware there's no point to looking until they're ready to make
No,
it active.
But you want to look as
You
to
want to
where
look to
hiding
know
spot
where,
would
sure.
be.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But
I mean,
ultimately, it's up to production who
Right.
wins, who gets it, when they want them to get it, who they want them to save.
Yep.
exactly.
So
We
Exactly.
had those ducks in the bathroom, and the one had a black eye, and the other one was angry, and I never found out what those ducks had. They had nothing to do with anything, and I'm never gonna let it go. I'm never gonna let it go. I'm the only one that made note of it. I should have gotten a special power to stay because I noticed the duckies, and I'll never get past it. I'll never get past it.
I see Destiny says, where do we think Marcia the Moose is going to come from this season? The ball pit?
I've never seen this moose yet.
Yes, she's never seen this moose yet. That's because it got cut too short for you, Nicole. So
Yeah.
Marcia last season got cut short, but it's our Benny the squirrel. But theirs is a moose that talks to them and is on a wall
That's horrifying.
or in a tomb.
yeah,
Where was it on your season?
it was in what was that room called?
Was it the tomb on your season? No.
No, not my season. My season, it was so we had that secret room that was it was called the secret room. But
Okay.
we had that room with all the boxes and newspapers and all that stuff, and then the other door opened with the secret door.
Right.
Yeah.
And a moose came out?
Yes, a real moose. It's Canada, Nicole.
No,
You
like a
get
person in a moose suit?
It's like
It's
a
a-
little sculpture.
Oh.
mounted on a wall. It's like
Oh,
a moose
okay,
head.
Okay.
And
You're
I
gonna
was
love
like,
it. It's gonna be your favorite stupid thing. We're all gonna hear you be like, "Now I love moose instead of unicorn." You're gonna love it. It's a moose, and it's usually
Squirrel
glittery
moose,
and
moose?
You're gonna love it.
Oh,
You
I
are-
love that.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be your
Anthony,
favorite
I
thing.
do want to ask you because as we like wrap up, because we have so many from Instagram, the Sylvesters want to know who is your pick to win it all? Who do you want? Who do you want? Well, who do you think is going to win it, but who do you want to win it?
I got 3 people that I can't decide at this point who I want them
Okay.
to win, but I just love the way that they're playing, and I want to see them go far. We got my boy Jed,
Yes.
we got my boy Ty,
Yes.
and we got my boy Grim Reaper, Kiefer. I love those guys. They're definitely some people that I would work with if I was inside the house. And honestly, I do feel like Jed and Ty are going to start picking it up because these competitions are going to start to change.
Yep.
These competitions are going to start to change, and these guys are going to start winning some competitions, and there's going to be a huge power shift, and it's going to get messy. It's going to get
Anthony,
messy, but I hope one of those guys pull through.
I'm gonna help you, Anthony. You need to pick a girl too. I'm gonna save you from the
Oh, yeah.
comments. Pick a
Pick a
girl.
female.
We need to pick a female. You named all the guys.
I do like Victoria. I do
Okay.
like Victoria. I just think that she's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's gonna get caught in a couple lies. She's gonna get
Yep.
caught being like super extra fake, and the whole house is just gonna turn on her. That's
Yeah.
honestly what I think.
Yeah.
I love where Tina and Tara are at. I
Yes.
just wish that they would just be more involved with the other duos. Like acknowledge where you're at in the house, like
Yep.
especially on your side. And but in their mind, but by the way that they're talking, and like Keith just won, like they're definitely feeling okay-ish, but they need to start working towards being powerful instead of
think
just
Tina-
okay.
I think Tina's in a better spot than Tara in the sense of Tina has Tara, but Tina also has Kiefer as like a solid I love them two are making me
Yeah.
so emotional with the Wendy's. Like I was just
Yeah.
like having a moment. I love them
Yeah.
so much.
I mean, I'll be honest, and I mean, everyone knows because I always feel that guys dominate the game. I always do want a female winner because they think they are underrepresented in Big Brother.
Thank you.
However,
No,
with the
however, as the representative
departure,
of women, I say thank you, Eric.
well, you're welcome, but with the departure of Latoya,
Oh, I know. Don't get me started. Mm-mm.
I'm like, none of these other ladies are really gaming well. And I love Victoria for like her live feed drama. And she gives us fun feed. She wants to give us good episodes, but like you say, I don't see that going far. She just wants to
Yeah.
blow up everyone's game and create a lot of chaos. And
Yeah.
that could make it to the end of the game, though. Somebody could drag that to the end to be
Yeah.
like, well, I'm definitely winning against that, and then be surprised. In that case, I'll be thrilled if she wins.
I
Yeah.
think Austin could surprise us too. I think Austin could navigate and be at the end.
She's really seems to care more about lip liner at the moment.
These guys got to step outside their duos. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have a conversation and just be like, yo, like we got to start putting in work in other places. Me and you are always good. Like, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And let's not talk for a couple days, or let's spend less time with each other for a couple days and start working on our social games. You know what I mean? Because
Really
social
sync
games,
up. Duos
yeah,
sync up and become a 4.
sync up, do something. It's time to get some power in the house. It doesn't matter who wins HOH if you have power.
Yep. True.
Right. And I mean, to be fair, you could say, I mean, obviously Beth is more with Ty and Jedson, but you could see her falling to Kiefer. And I say they're more so a 4 than the other people are 2s. I mean, I know that they're couples and pairs. Regardless of anything else, it's a great season of everyone is playing.
Yeah.
Nobody is really doing the safe thing. People win, go after power. They're not like, I'm going to play it safe and go after no. So, like, people are making moves every single week. And
Yeah.
I think that's why we're all kind of loving the season.
Yeah, I love it. And honestly, I've seen so many messages like, "Oh my God, this is the best season we've had, and this is way better than Big Brother 7." And like, I get it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I didn't get it for a long time because I'm like, how do you not like seeing dominance? But when you watched, forgive me for using this example, but the Golden State Warriors, when they were setting records and beating everybody, yeah, like it wasn't that fun to watch, but when they won the championship, that was crazy. You know what I mean? They were so dominant, they just destroyed everybody else. But I get how people like to see up and downs and roller coasters and stuff like that. I definitely like
Yep.
watching it. I'm really, really enjoying this season. I can't wait to
Of
see how it
course.
plays.
Eric, do we have a spoiler or no spoiler?
Well, what I was gonna say was because I think we do have a certain type of audience. What Anthony was trying to say was it's like when Teresa on the Housewives. No, totally. I think they got it. What do you mean? Do we have a spoiler? You have to finish the last part of the episode, Nicole. We did not talk about the nominations. Then
Sorry.
I will.
Okay.
Then I will get
So
you your
Kiefer
spoiler.
nominated Kyle and Roe.
Yeah, there you go. Are we all happy with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Justice for, as Anthony would say, hashtag remember the pantry.
Remember the
Okay.
pantry.
Remember the pantry. What did you want to happen at this point? Where do you two want it to go for the rest of this week, or do you both already know?
I want gameplay. There's a duo on the block. It's time for you guys to make some magic happen. It's time for you guys to really read the house. You've been watching people. You know where they're at all times. You know what rooms they're in. You know who's working together. You know who makes coffee for other people. You know who makes sandwiches. You know who's making out and jumping between people. Start some shit and get you and your partner off of the block. This is do or die. You've only got a couple of days.
Exactly. That's what I would say. I like to see, no offense, Kyle and Roe on the block, just the trajectory of things, but I'm not like, oh, I want this person to definitely go. I want to see how it unfolds and if they fight and if they somehow protect each other or spin something or get somebody else to be the target. Like it's impressive to see. And if they do it, then yeah, I don't, everybody deserves to be there, but yeah, you deserve to stay then if you keep rocking and rolling with it.
And for those of you that don't want spoilers, you're going to want to stop listening now. We'll see you all in the next show. Row 1 POV. He took himself down.
It's impressive. On 2 weeks of slop. I don't know what the competition was, but the man is starving to death and he won. Holy shit.
And then Kiefer put up Austin.
Wow.
Yes,
what are we thinking? Who do you want to go of the two? Who do you think would go of the two?
Me?
Either of you, both of you.
I was letting Anthony answer.
I think Kyle's gonna go.
You think Kyle's gonna go?
I think Austin has more ties. I think people really like Brayden, and I think that people are gonna want to see them as assets, whereas Kyle is just with Roe.
Okay, I'm gonna go the opposite and say I think Austin's gonna go. I really do.
I mean, we saw that it was Ty, right? Was very much pushing for Austin. They do control a lot of people's opinions in that house, so they could push it that way. But I think it'll ultimately be Kyle. Or at this moment, I will tell you, it is Kyle at this moment. We all know Thursday's a long way away and whatever, but at this moment, it is Kyle.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But I would say for that exact reason, why would you keep somebody who has one ally in Roe when, like, why would you keep Austin, who has ties with everybody, over Kyle? And Austin's won stuff. Austin has more ties. Like, Kyle's just Kyle. He hasn't won anything yet. He's only with Roe. I feel like it's kind of like the whole Josh effect, but that's a whole nother ballpark.
Well, I want to take one last comment over from Melanie in chat because I think it's a great way to end any show. Melanie says the star of BBCAN7 was Anthony Zamam. Loved your mom, says Melanie. So, yes. You missed that moment. I'll send you that moment too, I guess, Nicole.
That's so sweet.
I appreciate
that.
We're ending with moms. What a better way to end with Mother's Day soon.
Not really, but I will end on what Adam Pike said to me via DM, and hopefully this is not an inside joke or something that's not public, because that's gonna be bad. You're the shark? Oh God, should I not say that?
Great white shark.
Yeah.
Great white shark. I had a couple lines that I dropped in a couple of my DR sessions, and yeah, I basically was comparing everybody to dolphins and myself as a shark, which realistically was 90% true. But yeah, no, shout out to Adam Pike, man. I love that guy. I'm glad you guys, got a chance to get him on. He is one heck of a player. I can't wait to see him back on our screens. And yeah, what a great guy, man.
Well, we cannot wait to see you also back on the screen. I really do hope if there is an all-star season, I know people think they try not to put back people that were in the same alliance. I say, oh, Big Brother Canada, no. We need at least 2 of the pretty boys, and with all due respect, to Jane, you already won. We're good. And Mark, yes, we've seen that game before. We need you, and we need Adam back in there. So I think a lot of people think that it will happen. I hope we get to see it one day. But where do you want people to follow you on social media so that they can keep following you?
Come check me out at Dougylicious. I'm a lot more active now. I took a little break from social media, but I got a lot of photo shoots booked up. I got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. So come check out my Instagram and let's show each other some love.
Love it.
I love it. Remember, for everyone to follow, like, and subscribe before you leave. Of course, the show is ending now, so make sure that you share it. Let everybody know that you think might like this show, to have them check it out, share those links, and of course, you can find the links to all of our socials, Anthony's, where to find us live, our schedule, and more over on our website, hellofriendspod.com. Nicole, final thoughts.
Anthony, we love having you on the show. You're obviously a friend of the show. I started with some Fergie. I'm going to end with, I think it's Macklemore, like a great white shark on Shark Week. What? I had to do it. I'm sorry, guys.
It's cute.
Thank you.
Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.